swear the upshifts are louder than the older one.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Archie Hamilton Racing, and welcome into my new Range Rover Sport SVR. Yes, those words are something I didn't really think I was going to be saying, but today is the first proper drive of this car, because when I picked it up from the dealership, I went from there straight back home in the sort of late at night, and I haven't had a proper chance to share my thoughts and a proper first drive video on the car for you all. So today we're going to go to some nice country roads and really enjoy the car. Explaining here as well how this all came about, why it came about. That is exhaust button off. Flipping out a new SVR is so cool. Okay, and I've just come out just outside London, so we can do this first drive video, not just going around sort of laps of Harrods and Sloane Street. We're going to actually enjoy what this car's kind of made for. Not off-road, we're off-road at the moment, but just to enjoy the roads where we are. So let's have a little walk around it, but can we just take in how flipping cool my new SVR looks? Oh yes, with the carbon bonnet, everything. It is filthy, if I'm honest with you. The roads were damp and everything, and I got here, and that is one negative about owning a black car, but we're not going on to negatives with this. Here we go. None of this was me, by the way. The SVR, there we go. It is time for the first drive, and honestly, even driving it 20 minutes to where I am now, I was just loving it. It's just so cool, and I'm so happy that this is my new daily driver, so to speak. It's just so cool with the upgraded lights. What you have with this Range Rover Sport, it has SVR, it's got more horsepower than my older one. Obviously viewers to the channel will know that I did own an older sort of SVR, and this one is the new shape, and a lot of people in the comments are saying, why the hell have you done that? Well, I will tell you all about it. Carbon fibre bonnet, which is just here. We do like the carbon fibre bonnet, don't we? Look at that, carbon fibre bonnet. It's pretty crazy, and that is an option. That is a sort of, I think that is a £2,000 option, but it doesn't have things like carbon fibre here, but all to be added to the car. Things I wanted to do to it to make it my own will all be happening very, very shortly. But visually, when you see them sat there, look at that. Isn't that just a wicked bit of kit? And I really like how the tints sort of just go from there back to there as well. I mean, it's such, it's so cool. Silver tailpipes, not actually sure if they are going to stay silver. There's a good chance that those will change as well. This car has 575 brake horsepower, which I think is utterly crazy, and it is 0.4 faster than the older one, basically. So the older Range Rover Sport SVR, which I had before, this is 0.4 seconds faster, 0 to 60, and the top speed has changed as well. So my older SVR had a top speed of 162 miles per hour. This has a top speed of 176 miles per hour. So I'll have that, to be honest with you. Different subtle differences with this compared to the older one. Obviously, the first thing which you'll notice is the upgraded lights. That's something which they have done with this one. And then if we walk more to the front, you will see, obviously, which I always bang on about, and you can visually spot out the new Range Rover Sport SVRs, and that is because of this carbon fibre bonnet. This one has been exposed. This one has been exposed. All Range Rover SVRs have carbon fibre bonnets, so the whole thing here is carbon fibre, but not a lot of them are exposed, and if they are, it's a couple of £1,000s to get that done. The carbon fibre package which these cars come with, if you want to go carbon fibre sort of here, carbon fibre down there, carbon fibre on there, that is a £6,000 £5,000 option, I believe, from Land Rover themselves. There was one big reason why I did buy this, and that was the price. So these have come down a little bit in price, and considering that when I bought my Range Rover Sport SVR, the older one, I think I paid 68 grand for that car. Sold it for pretty much the same, more to be spoken about that soon. But then this, they've dropped down. They've dropped down now from like 100,000 to sort of late 80s. So, and when you jump in these cars, it is a nice place to be. I decided to, I'm gonna just rest you just there. I decided to get these seats in black because I had the cream seats on my older one and they get dirty really easily. So the black seats, black on black on black, Very nice sort of SVR logo that we have here. The biggest difference is the screens just here. Not only the seats, these seats, which you're looking at right now, are 30 kilograms lighter than the older seats, I believe, and that is weight saving as well. So compared to the older car, you have weight saving on the interior as well. I do love the screens. Let's talk a little bit more about that, and we will just start the car up quickly. Oh yes. I haven't even really got properly started with this, and when I started the car, the screen actually starts to tilt towards you as well, which is quite cool. But it is all so new. It's crazy. And on this dash as well, I again am learning all the time, because the exhaust button is now here, just there, and before it was like sort of down here. So that's another thing which is different for me. Little things as well that you learn. At the moment I've got it on the auto kind of terrain, but if you press this just in like that, it will then change it. So then you can change different things with it as well. So if you want to put the car into dynamic mode, I believe you just press that button there, and then the LED ambient lighting, which this car does have. You won't be able to see it right now. The whole of the interior starts to go, it all goes kind of red, and the exhaust goes sort of louder, and the suspension goes harder as well. You can actually then go to eco mode, which is just there, and that will, I believe, do different kind of things just to make the whole ride kind of a little bit smoother as well. You get a little, sort of little car which comes up on there also, and then all sorts which you can do. Seats, there you go, you can do your seats and whatever you want just there. Play around with all your cameras and stuff which you have on the dash just here. We are in the winter here in England, so we like a good old heated steering wheel. You got your lane assist, which is just there, all very different to my older one as well, but you can sort of do lots of different things with these. And what I do actually really like is the telephone thing. So basically what you can see there is just a little telephone just chilled. If someone calls you, green goes up there and red goes up there. It's all kind of quite funky actually. Oh, I'm showing you I've got a fridge. Look, I'm going to show you in here. Right in here is a fridge. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, my fridge is now on. Who wants a drink? Whack it in my fridge, and we just put that down just like that. We need to do a test. Exhaust button on and exhaust button off. Let's do off first. Flipping out there, cool. They got so much character. Exhaust button now on. I even love when these cars are on idle. Listen. I can listen to it all day. Hey, here we go. Woohoo! Oh, flipping out. That is exhaust button on, yes. Just put the window down a little bit so we can hear it. These cars, SVRs, are beasts. Don't get me wrong. How do I look in here, everybody? How is it with the sort of black seats, the black interior, with the pan roof, everything? Oh, it's a nice place to be. Coming from the older one, let's talk about the differences, because that is the first thing you're probably all going to want to know. Is it really worth the extra money? Well, for me, yes, I think it is, because these have now come down in price, and the older one has come down a little bit as well. And from considering what I sold my old one for, and for what I paid for this, it made perfect sense. The new dash and everything, where all these modern cars are going, is crazy, and that makes a massive difference. The ride, I feel, and the steering with this compared to the older one is much better. It's much more direct. It goes into where you sort of tell it to a lot quicker and a lot more direct, like I say. The older one sort of wallowed around a little bit. You turn it in and it wouldn't be like that. It sort of really felt that you were in a sort of big SUV. With this, you do feel like you're high up. You are high up, but it handles so well. It turns into corners very, very well. Like on country roads where we are today, outside of London, it's flipping perfect. A lot of people said, you must be crazy getting another one. What are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Well, I didn't actually want to sell my older one. My old SVR, I sold it for the same money I bought it for 6 months later. They called me up and they said, you know what? we got someone who wants your specific car with your exhaust on it and everything else, and you'll get your money back for the car, and you've driven it for 6 months. It was a no-brainer for me. Obviously, I didn't really want to sell it, but when you can get out of a car like that, then that's kind of what I had to do. Let's talk a little bit about sort of like the gearbox. How good is the gearbox? I feel, weirdly, that this gearbox is better than the older one, funnily enough. On the upshift, it's a tiny delay, but it's not massive. So when you wait, you go, upshift, and it's pretty instant. In terms of, for what it is, it's crazy. One thing I'm loving as well is the panoramic roof. I am so happy that that is with this car. I was looking for ages for SVRs, and considering the panoramic roof is so nice, it gives the car, I feel with SUVs, panoramic roof gives the car, and it makes the car, it gives it so much character. That is one thing that it 100% does. It's just mad, this car. It's flipping mental, and I am so happy with it. It's just the way it is, and the way it eats up the road, effectively. You're driving it and you just feel that you're king of the road in it. And now the handling's sorted, now the whole car is just one beast. I just think it's just utter madness. What you see and how you see the car now is one thing, but just hold fire, because things are going to be changing. Do you hear that overrun? Back to eco we go. We're cruising. We are cruising. I think, and a lot of you at home will probably think, the SVR it's in one of those leagues where you compare it to something like, well, I do personally as well, something like an RS6, or, you know, whenever you see an RS6 or an SVR on the road, you're like, who the hell's driving that? That looks awesome, sounds awesome. I will go on to fuel economy, because I know a lot of you all said, oh, why have you done that? Yes, they are horrendous on fuel, and if you buy an SVR, you know that you're going to be spending the majority of your time at a petrol station. Yes, that is one of the things, but you don't buy an SVR if you don't know that it is shocking on fuel. And living in London, diesel as well, I wanted to get something petrol in the end, so that's how this one sort of worked out. And yes, it will be bad on fuel, I know that, but what do? So they do, combined miles per gallon is 22. So if you're cruising along on the motorway, you'd like to hope you get 22, but if you're driving around town and you're driving and you're trying to get the noise out of it and being an idiot, then you're probably going to get about 9, probably even less. But it's how you drive the car. I complained a lot with my older one, but with this one, I'm not thinking about the fuel, because otherwise you will not enjoy it. To round this first drive video off, shall we? It is. What? I swear the upshift's are louder than the older one. That is chaos! That's stock! Stock! What? It's the most mad thing. I'm so happy. And this now joins my flipping GT3 RS and an A35 AMG. Listen to the overrun. Can we just... I just need a little bit of a moment, actually. It's not part of the plan of the video. GT3 RS, Range Rover Sport SVR, and an A35. That's like Dream Car Garage. That's mad. So for me, I'm going to drive back into London, enjoy this, and just take in what an amazing, amazing car of it, and all the content coming up, you're all going to be involved. Don't worry, it's not going to be the same usual stuff. We're going to do stuff with this SVR, which is a little bit different, a little bit quirky, and just enjoy it, because honestly,
it all makes total sense. It's just the best flipping SUV in the world.
So there we go, I've just jumped out of the SVR, and honestly, I'm buzzing. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming up of it, and what I'm going to be doing now is just doing lots of miles on it and then just enjoying, and I think that's the best thing for it. And then next week, the first of the modifications will start. What's a bird singing? The modifications will go on, and things will start to happen with it. But I just, you know what? I'm really happy just to be in a position to have an SVR, and now I just want to just use it, really. Just use it, and those 3 cars in my garage, it's just crazy. And how can you not like something like that? Too good, too flipping good. Anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, the first drive with the car. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all very soon.